You were like into Jesus before,
Mm-hmm.
so you came from the idea of like this man is God. How do you stem that with going, or whatever, with like Chabad? Do you see them in the same way?
I've never encountered Chabad Jews who believe that the Rebbe is in any way divine. I've not encountered it. It's never been an issue. And I don't really care that much about people's theology.
Okay.
I'm a pretty easygoing guy.
Alright, go ahead. Next thing.
Tolerance is my middle name, along with chastity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Does Judaism care about art? There's verse after verse about artistic details for the Mishkan. After the destruction of the Beis Hamikdash, is art unnecessary in Jewish life?
What do you mean is art unnecessary?
Well, it doesn't seem to get great value in traditional Jewish
Does music count as art?
Yeah.
I think we're really knee-deep in music.
You mean like Madashahe?
Ugh. Don't get me started again.
How about Eitan G, the Jewish
Oh my
rapper?
God! We're not going.
Making the motzi, making the motzi.
You know what? I want to give him I'll say something about it, right?
Yeah.
As horrible as making a motzi was,
Yeah.
it was probably still better than the Black Eyed Peas yesterday at the Super Bowl. I would have welcomed Matis Yahu at the Super Bowl. That's how bad the Black Eyed Peas were.
The Jews used artistic beauty to come to God. Is secular art dangerous?
Oh, let's say like Goyish music.
Yeah.
It can be. It depends. It can be. It just depends how you use it and depends what it is. It's all it's like rap. Let's talk about rap. Mm-hmm. If you can call that art, it's god awful art, right? Mm-hmm. It just takes when it's mixed in with Judaism. It takes Judaism and makes it god awful. Mm-hmm. But there's good Goyish music out there, right? Let's say give me an example of something.
Air Supply.
Oh God, that's god
I'm
awful
all
too.
out of love.
Oh Jesus.
What are you? What am I without you? I know you were right, believing for so long. I'm all out of love. What am I without you? I know you were right.
Like, are you done ruining our show?
Overnight dreams.
Come up with like like let's say like you have good Goyish music. I think that can be for the betterment of Judaism, and like with something that we can embrace and take with us. But bad Goyish art, we need to remove ourselves from that shit. The problem is that people don't see the difference. That's really sad.
Do you think the movie in Education was anti-Semitic?
That's an interesting question. What brought that up?
It was on the cover of the Jewish Journal about a year ago. I loved that movie.
Okay, let's talk. You want to talk about that movie?
Yes.
I wasn't sure if you're ever going to bring that up.
Yeah.
I watched it twice.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but there's a reason why. I never heard of it. I never.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it. I'm going into this thing blind. I watched it the first time, and I'm thinking, hey, I like this movie, and I'll tell you why. Because it was a younger woman, older man. Now you have to understand, most of the women who I've ever dated,
Schoolgirls,
are young.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm older.
Yes, you are.
People think, oh, Rab's probably not more than 23, 24
yeah,
years
yeah,
old.
exactly, but it's not true.
Okay. So, I'm thinking, okay, and the one thing I've always been up against was parents disapproving. Right? And, and then there's like small thinkers, the ignorant people who say, oh, this is not a legitimate relationship.
This is disgusting.
Most people are very supportive of me. My friends are, but there's always like some asshole out there, right?
Right.
So here is a movie, and we see that the older guy and the younger woman, and it's considered a legitimate relationship. And I was like, oh, this is my point too. Hollywood has always distanced itself from depicting relationships as anything other than two people the same age. They're finally starting to cross the racial barrier. When I was a kid, if there was a McDonald's commercial and a couple was depicted, they're two black people the same age, two white people the same age. Am I right?
Yeah.
You're not going to see, here's what you're not going to see. You may see a young couple who's black, and an older couple who's white, but you won't see the black guy with the white woman and vice versa. You won't see the older guy with the younger woman or vice versa. Like, those are taboo. We're not touching it. We just want to sell hamburgers. Right? Am I right?
Yeah.
And this would piss me off. Because it depicts, like, it's only normal to date somebody of the same age. I'm offended by that. I'm offended by the fact that in all of the shows on TV, and even in the movies, relationships are always depicted as people in the same age range. You can't have just a normal couple where the guy's 50 and the woman's 20. You just don't see it. Yet, you would think that never happens. It's like close to 0% of films, 0% of commercials. Really, the problem is commercials, more than movies and TV. You can get away with a little more with TVs, especially like on HBO or something, right? But in commercials, you'll never see like an ad with an older man. He's got like white hair and maybe like a real long beard, right? And he's got like a 20-year-old chick, right, as his partner in life. You're not gonna see that. If he's got a 20-year-old chick, it's considered his daughter, all right? And we're gonna build around that, right? And I know I'm right. There's no one who can argue. You can't find me an ad that's different. Mainstream America won't accept that. And it pisses me off because I was in those relationships, right? Okay,
so get back to the movie.
What the hell was I talking about? So I was watching this and it was totally legitimate. I mean, everybody was like, hey, those two, they're a great couple together. I'm going, great. This is great. They're finally legitimizing it. There's a movie here that has taken the chance, and what is she? She's like 16 or something in the movie?
Yeah, he's like 33.
How do you know he's 33? I don't remember ever his age being discussed.
I read the book and watched it.
Oh, I never saw the book, and they never said his age. He just, like, looked older.
He looked in his 30s.
Okay, because he said, like, he was older, right? And I'm like, wow, this is legitimate, and the parents are behind it, and, like, nobody's giving anybody a hard time about this, and I'm like, this is really enjoyable to finally see a couple. Okay, so I had the potential to make this like my favorite movie ever. But then there was like a twist in the movie. I didn't see it coming. And I was like, whoa, I didn't see that coming, right? And I was like, whoa, that's weird. So then I decided, like, okay, you know what? I want to watch the whole movie again. And now that I know the end, I want to read that back, because I'm like a computer guy, right? And it's like, now that I know that, I want to read it back through the whole program, right? So I watched it from the beginning. I hated the movie. I hate that movie now. And here's why. They just reinforced this fucking stereotype. And they reinforced the taboo. They said any time that there's an older guy, his intentions aren't sincere, right? He's out to seduce her. He's an asshole. And he should be avoided. That there cannot be a legitimate relationship with someone her age and someone his age. And again, that's worse. Now we've directly attacked it and we're trying to reinforce that taboo. And I said, fuck you! Because this is what they're doing. They're making it sound that every single time that somebody like me is in a relationship with somebody who's younger, that it can't be that my intentions are legitimate. I'm offended by that.
Did you think the movie was anti-Semitic?
I thought that it's a plausible argument to say that, and I'll tell you why. I actually did the research. I went and researched the story afterwards because I was interested. My first reaction was, this seems anti-Semitic, because it was like a gratuitous thing. We didn't need to know the guy was Jewish, right? There was, why make the villain a Jew?
Right.
You didn't have to make him a Jew. We don't need to.
Well, it's based on a true story.
It's based on a true story.
The movie is pretty accurate to the story.
Okay, but here's the point. I said, okay, so it wasn't like they created this character and let's make him Jewish, right? He was Jewish, and let's make it like realistic. And I said to myself, you know what? It wasn't necessary to the story. He could be Jewish, and we don't need to know it. What value did it add to the movie to tell us that he was Jewish? Yes, he's Jewish. Why do we need to know it? It didn't change anything. It had nothing to do with it.
I thought it was important because one, that was part of the true story, and second, it revealed something about him